Hello, Joseph Michelli here, and what will be the first of a series of video blogs called Miceli Musings. And this particular blog is going to be about leadership and life lessons learned in a pandemic and my offer of service. So this all started with me thinking about where does wisdom come from and how do we deal with uncertainty? And I went back to my mom and some of the things that my mom told me. So whenever bad things would happen in our household, my mom would say, I would never wish this on anyone, but now that it's here on our doorstep, what are we going to do about it? So this notion that we can acknowledge the unfairness, the injustice of it all and feel that for a while, but then we need to move into a place that says, okay, now what are we going to do about that? Well, clearly coronavirus is on the doorstep of many in our communities, and as a result, we have this opportunity to say, what are we going to learn and do from this? So for me, one of the learnings I had was that in the old days, I used to worry about technology taking the place of service delivery. Right now, I am so grateful for technologies that enable me to connect with my clients and my loved ones. Technologies like Zoom, for example. In addition to that, I used to take for granted a handshake. I used to take for granted a hug. I used to take for granted that I could get in large crowds or I could stand on a stage with thousands of people. Now I am so appreciative for every one of those opportunities I've had and for the possibility of future opportunities ahead. In addition to that, my dad's wisdom has come back to me in recent vintage, and that includes my dad saying things like, save for a rainy day. And if you are fortunate enough to do that and others are less fortunate, realize that you need to be able to share with those in need. Clearly an opportunity for us to be called on to be of service in this time, so that rather than focusing on our own plight, we can focus on how we can serve others. And we'll talk a little bit about that later on in the blog. And finally, I'm appreciating the pause that is happening for many people around me. Pausing to stay home with kids, pausing to work from home, pausing just because there is a shutdown of some major thing in their life. And what comes from this for me is all of the losses that are associated with this pause, but also the opportunity for us to take a conscious inventory of all the things that we were doing on autopilot and look for things that enable us to connect in whatever safe means possible, but also enable us to focus on purposeful activity that we put off because of all the things that cluttered our lives. So with that said, one of the things we are changing is not doing infographics. We've been doing infographics for a long time. In general, it's a lot of energy expended, and realistically, we don't think it's having the impact that we would have liked it to have. We kept doing it, but all of a sudden we've kind of come to this point where do we really need to do that anymore? And instead, we're doing this video blog series as an alternative. We will continue to be providing our written blogs, which is an extension of this video blog in more detail. And for those who like to consume the information in written form, we'll continue to be doing our podcast. You can go to my website at josephmichelli.com/blog and you will find the blogs there if you'd like to read them. They're posted on all of our social channels as well. And our podcasts are covered at Podbean. You can download them through Apple as well. All right, with that said, here's my offer of service. I said earlier that if we can save for a rainy day, that's great. Thank you, Dad. But if we have things to give, and that savings may not be financial, it may be some of our time or our resources. If we have something to give to those who are in need right now, I strongly encourage it. So I'm offering part of my time in a given week to provide services to those who are struggling to figure out how to move their business in this time of uncertainty. And let me be very specific. I am blessed to work with Fortune 500 CEOs. I'm in war rooms all over the place right now, involved in video conferencing, trying to position businesses against the uncertainty. I'm going to set aside a percentage of my time each week for those who may not have the ability to get those kind of resources. I'm going to make that available free of charge to people. All you need to do is go to my website, josephmichelli.com. When you're there, you should spend some time just moving over to the contact side, clicking on the contact link. And once you click on the contact link, it's going to bring you to a page. And when you get to that page, you'll just kind of scroll up, fill in some of your information. Just note that you'd like to have some virtual complimentary consulting at this time to try to help you position your business. Hit submit, and we will, on a first come, first served basis, involve ourselves with you to the best degree possible to try to help you deal with these uncertainties. I'm encouraging everyone else to do the same thing. If you're a consultant, a coach, whatever you might be, look for ways to give a portion of your resources in this time. I know you're worried about yourself, but let's also try to worry about others. And in the process of helping others, maybe we can distract ourselves from our own uncertainties and, in fact, be of service to others. As you see people doing things that are surprisingly kind, I would encourage you to go to this website. It's a website we created as part of a movement called Surprisingly Kind. Go to surprisinglykind.com, just submit a story where you saw someone do it or you had someone do it. Maybe they just called you out of the blue, you haven't heard from a long time, they expressed their care and concern, they listened to you for a while. Any small act of kindness we'd like to capture, share it on the website, share it through newsletters, try to use it as inspiration for others. Okay, that's the video blog. Brings me back to my mom, who said the experience of fear is normal. That's what Mama told me. But she also said it's what you do with the fear that makes a huge difference in your character. Are you someone who's going to hoard? Are you somebody who's going to deny? Or are you somebody who's going to take constructive, reasonable action in the service of your family and in the service of the communities around us? I hope you'll make the best choice for you. I know what Mama Michelli expected for me. I look forward to our opportunities to connect at josephmichelli.com. Look for the blogs and podcasts later in the week.